Hey, Fins Nation. What's up, my fellow Aqua and Orange warriors? This is your die-hard Dolphins fan, straight from the heart of Miami, buzzing like I've just chugged a Cuban coffee after that insane Week 10 beatdown on the Bills. Can you believe it? We shocked the world 30-13 with Devon Achane turning into a human highlight reel, 174 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, including that dagger 59-yarder that left Josh Allen looking like he forgot his playbook. But hold up, because today's Miami Dolphins news is all about that sweet injury report glow-up heading into Week 11 against the Commanders in Madrid. Teaser alert, Chop Robinson's back, Austin Jackson's knocking on the door, and we're talking real momentum. Could this be the spark that turns our 3-7 season into a wild card fever dream? Stick with me because I'm breaking it all down, scene by scene, with the stats, the drama, and that Fins fire we crave. Who's ready to roar? Let's dive in. The first whispers from Wednesday's practice in Spain had me fist-pumping like we just sacked Allen for the 10th time. Chop Robinson, our rookie pass rush beast, listed as a full participant after that brutal concussion sidelined him against Buffalo. Remember, folks, this kid's got that Georgia edge. He's already notched 3.5 sacks this season despite missing chunks of time, and getting him back means our D-line could terrorize whatever backup QB the Commanders throw at us. It's like adding a Ferrari to a go-kart race, sudden, explosive, and game-changing. What do you think, Fins fans? Does Chop's return make us the scariest edge rush in the league overnight? But it's not just Robinson stealing the show. D. Eskridge, our speedy WR slot machine, is limited after sitting out the Bills game with that shoulder tweak, and get this, he's got 28 catches for 312 yards and a TD already this year, proving he's no gadget guy but a legit weapon for Tua. Seeing him back on the field, even limited, feels like unlocking a cheat code. Imagine him zipping past those Commanders DBs on a slant route for a quick score. We've been starving for that vertical threat since Waddle's been nicking up, and Eskridge could be the jolt we need to keep defenses honest. Tell me in the comments, who's your go-to WR3 right now, Eskridge, Washington, or someone else flying under the radar? Zooming out, this report screams progress after our European adventures turned into a logistical nightmare. Flights delayed, jet lag hitting harder than a Chubb blindside. Yet here we are with 6 limited dudes but zero panic because that Bills win wasn't a fluke. It was 197 team rushing yards, holding James Cook to a measly 53 after his 300-yard tear the weeks before. This proof our run D, ranked 28th entering Week 10, can flip the script when it clicks. As McDaniel said pre-practice, we're building something resilient. And man, does that fire me up. Fins up, or what? Hit like if you're feeling this vibe. Shifting gears to the big question mark. Austin Jackson, our RT cornerstone, limited with that lingering toe injury that's kept him on IR since Week 1. Talk about a gut punch, losing a guy who's allowed just 1 sack in his last 500 pass-blocking snaps. But him even practicing. That's huge. It's like the Dolphins' offense finally exhaling after holding its breath for 2 months. If he gets activated, Tua's blindside turns from question mark to fortress, especially against a Commanders front that's already thin without Daniels. Imagine the line dance with him back. Pure poetry. You feeling optimistic? Or should we brace for Brunskill stepping up again? And speaking of backups shining, Daniel Brunskill's been that unsung hero as our 6th lineman the last 3 games, logging 45 snaps against Buffalo without a hitch, 0 pressures allowed, per PFF. If Brewer can't go, he's the logical center plug, and honestly, after that gritty performance where our O-line paved 197 rushing yards, I'm all in on this depth chart depth. It's not sexy, but it's Fins football. Tough, adaptable, ready to grind. What's your take? Underrated gem or just holding the fort? Drop it below. I read every one. This injury snapshot isn't just names on a sheet. It's the story of a team clawing back from 2-7 despair, turning a meaningless win into fuel for Madrid magic. Remember the opener against Tennessee? We looked shell-shocked, but fast forward to suppressing Buffalo's MVP offense. 3 turnovers forced, including Melifon's end-zone pick that had hard rock shaking. That's growth, baby, and with Robinson and Eskridge trending up, we're not just surviving, we're hunting. Who's with me on predicting a blowout overseas? Let's keep the momentum rolling. Now, let's talk the heartbreaker. Aaron Brewer and Rasul Douglas both DNP on Wednesday, both nursing foot/ankle gremlins that sound way too familiar after Douglas missed the Bills game. Brewer, our snap count maestro with a 95% accuracy rate this season, didn't work, and McDaniel's optimistic vibe, he's close, real close, has me crossing fingers harder than after Tua's INT in double coverage last week. Lose him and it's Brunskill time, but man, that center spot's been our Achilles heel all year. Fins fans, how bad would it hurt if these two sit? Sound off. Douglas's absence against Buffalo? We felt it. 6 tackles missed in that secondary that bent but didn't break, holding Allen to 197 yards on 58% completion. But with him out again early, it's Bonner and Marshall stepping up, and after their combo held the fort last Sunday, I'm cautiously hyped. This D's got that Weaver intensity now, chest bumps and all, ranking top 15 in points allowed over the last 3 weeks. It's raw, it's real, and it's got me believing we can swarm Washington like we did the Bills. You seeing the same fire? Or am I just orange-tinted goggles on? These DNPs sting, but they're the plot twists keeping us hooked. Will Brewer rally for Sunday's 9:30 a.m. kickoff under the Bernabeu lights? McDaniel didn't sugarcoat it pre-practice. Foot/ankles no joke, but Aaron's a warrior. Pair that with our 3-7 record screaming playoff long shot, and suddenly every rep matters double. It's classic Dolphins drama. Highs of a chain's 225 total yards, lows of these nagging tweaks. But hey, that's why we love it. Unpredictable, passionate hours. What's the biggest if for this game? Hit me. Diving deeper into the limited crew, Ashton Davis's quad issue carried over. He sat Buffalo, but his special teams wizardry, 2 blocked punts this year, means we miss that spark. Then there's Ollie Gordon too, our RB spark plug with the ankle tweak. Limited again after flashing 4.2 yards per carry in limited snaps. Add T. Julian Hill, ankle, missed 2 straight, and Esafita Melifonwu, thumb/foot, but hero of that third-quarter pick against the Bills, and it's a laundry list. Yet, our depth held, 30 points scored, D allowing just 13. Stats don't lie, resilience rating off the charts. Hill's absence opened doors for Dulcich, who snagged 5 for 49 last week, but Julian's that vertical red zone threat with 3 TDs prior. Getting him limited? It's like teasing a comeback album. We need the full drop. And Melifonwu? Played through pain Sunday, stonewalling a goal line stand. If he toughs it out, our secondary's a lockdown unit. Fins faithful, rank these limited guys. Who's most make or break for Madrid? Your votes in the comments fuel my fire. This limited parade tests our next man up mantra. But after trading Phillips and holding firm on Waddle despite calls, interim GM Kelly's building a squad that fights. Remember Week 9's Ravens loss? We bounced with 197 rush yards. That's not luck. That's scheme. McDaniel's optimism? These guys are grinding in Spain. Jet-lagged but locked in. It's the underdog energy we thrive on at 3-7, turning weird wins into habits. Who's your unsung limited hero? Share and let's hype him. Flipping to the Commander's side. Oh man, this is Christmas morning for Dolphins fans. They ruled out 3 already. Jaden Daniels, left elbow, their franchise spark with 2,800 yards and 18 TDs. WR Treylon Burks, finger, and LB Ale Keho, concussion. Unusual? Understatement. Teams don't drop the hammer midweek like that. Add Terry McLaurin DNP, quad, out since week 9. And Zach Ertz and our ex-tackle Laramie Tunsil resting, plus 6 total DNPs, their O-line's a turnstile, allowing 42 sacks league worst. Daniels out means backup Jacoby Brissett or Sam Howell stepping in. Brissett's 1-3 as a starter this year, sacked 12 times in those games. For a Dolphins D that just muzzled Allen, it's drool-worthy. Chop Robinson versus a patched front. A chain feasting on that 25th ranked run D. We own a 1-1 edge in recent meetings, but with their stars dimmed, this feels like 2023 vibes all over. Fins up, what's our predicted margin? 10? 20? Let's hear it. Washington's woes amplify our edge. Their limited trio, LB Frankie Luvu, shoulder, S. Quan Martin, shoulder, S. Will Harris, ankle. Plus full-go vets like Bobby Wagner, thumb, Banged up? It's a MASH unit. Meanwhile, Arby's Chris Rodriguez Jr. shoulder, and Wagner gutting it out shows grit. But against our fresh legs? Nah. Post-bills, McDaniel quipped, "We're the hunters now." And with Tunsil facing his old squad, revenge subplot alert. This matchup's scripted for Finn's fireworks. You buying a route or sneaky trap? Comment below. Tying it back to our Bills blueprint. That 30-13 stunner wasn't smoke. It was Tua's 10-14s for 133 and 2 TDs, despite the early INT Classic gunslinger redemption. Achane's 174 rushes suppressed Cook to 53, flipping our dreadful run D narrative. Penalties? Yeah, we burned timeouts like confetti, but the D forced 3 TOs, first opening drive punt on Buffalo all year. At 3-7, it feels good but meaningless. Yet it lit a fire. Now with injury greens, Madrid's our stage. McDaniel's pre-practice nod. Optimistic on Brewer, but ready either way. That's coach speak for depth wins games, and after Brunskill's steady hand, I'm sold. Our European rough patch delays vibes off ends here. 197 rush yards prove we're built for bounce-backs. Fins fans, relive that Achane house call in your mind. Pure joy. What's one Bills moment still giving you chills? Spill it. This week 11 preps a thriller novel. Heroes returning, Robinson full go. Villains weakened, Commanders outs galore. And our 3-7 squad scripting the upset sequel. Stats back it, post-week 10, we're top 10 in red zone D, 45% TD rate allowed. Perfect for exploiting Washington's 32nd ranked scoring, 18.2 PPG. It's not just news. It's hope, wrapped in turquoise passion. Who's your MVP pick for Sunday, Tua? Achane or a surprise? Your thoughts keep this community alive. As we wrap this injury whirlwind, picture it. Bernabeu Stadium, 80,000 neutral fans, but we'll make M chant Fins up. With a W that catapults us toward .500. From Eskridge's limited zip to Jackson's IRTs, every update's a brick in our comeback wall. We've weathered trades, tweaks, and 2-7 blues, but that Bills domination? Proof we're unbreakable. Miami Dolphins news like this is why we bleed aqua raw, relentless, rewarding. One last hype. If Brewer's back snapping to Tua, and Douglas locks down their WR2, we're golden. McDaniel's vision, resilient, not perfect, hits home after holding Buffalo to 13. At 3-7, every snap's playoff fuel. Fins Nation, you're the heartbeat here. What's your bold prediction for Washington? Double-digit win? Achane 150+ again? Let's manifest it. All right, Warriors, that's your front row seat to the Dolphins' Week 11 injury renaissance. Progress everywhere, pitfalls minimal, and pure potential pulsing. If this fired you up half as much as me, smash that like button. Drop your hottest takes in the comments. Chop for DPOY? Tua's arm talent underrated. Subscribe for daily Dolphins drops, and share this with every Fins fan in your crew. Let's flood Madrid with turquoise takeover vibes. Fins up forever. Who's with me? See you next time. Progress for Robinson. Eskridge highlights first Dolphins Week 11 injury report. The Washington Commanders already have ruled out 3 players for the game's Sunday. Miami Dolphins center Aaron Brewer, 55, looks on after the first half against the Tennessee Titans at Hard Rock Stadium in 2024. Sam Navarro Amain images the Miami Dolphins' first injury report for their Week 11 game against the Washington Commanders was highlighted by the presence on it of tackle Austin Jackson. But it featured even more positive developments. Jackson was listed as limited with his toe injury, but him returning to practice was a significant development considering he's been on injured reserve since Week 1. The other positive developments involved wide receiver D. Eskridge returning to practice after missing the game against the Buffalo Bills because of a shoulder injury, and linebacker Chop Robinson being listed as a full participant after being out with a concussion. This would put Robinson on track to return against Washington on Sunday. As head coach Mike McDaniel indicated before practice, center Aaron Brewer and cornerback Rasul Douglas didn't work Wednesday, but they were the only Dolphins player with a DNP. And it turns out Brewer's issue, which McDaniel didn't indicate Wednesday morning, early afternoon in Spain, is the same as the one that kept Douglas out of the Buffalo game. Foot/ankle. Commanders practice report. In a very unusual move we just don't see these days, the Commanders actually ruled out 3 players Wednesday, a list headed by quarterback Jaden Daniels, left elbow. The other 2 were WR Treylon Burks, finger, and LB Ale Cahoe, concussion. Those 3 were among 6 Washington players who didn't practice Wednesday, though that included rest days for veteran tight end Zach Ertz and former Dolphins tackle Laramie Tunsil. The other Washington DNP went to wide receiver Terry McLaurin, who head coach Dan Quinn said Monday wouldn't play this game because of a quad injury. Additionally, the Commanders had 3 players listed as limited: LB Frankie Louvu, shoulder, S. Quan Martin, shoulder, and S. Will Harris, ankle, with running back Chris Rodriguez Jr., shoulder, and linebacker Bobby Wagner, thumb, listed as full participants despite dealing with injuries. It was weird. How are you going to come out and bash the Bills while sitting at 2-7? This is the same as rolling a critical hit against an enemy with 1 HP left. Sure, it feels good, but it's ultimately meaningless. The good bad.